In a remote valley shrouded by mist, there was a village named Shadowvale. The villagers of Shadowvale lived under a perpetual cloud of gloom, their days marked by routine and their nights by a sky devoid of stars. The village had a long history of discouragement, and no one believed that anything could change. Their greatest symbol of hope was an old, dusty lantern that had not been lit for decades. Elena, a young woman with a spark of curiosity and ambition, often gazed at the lantern and wondered about its forgotten light. Her parents had always told her stories of how the lantern once illuminated the village and brought hope and joy. But over time, the lantern had become a relic of the past, covered in dust and ignored. One evening, as Elena walked through the village square, she overheard the villagers discussing their latest misfortune, a failed harvest that threatened their survival. The despair in their voices was palpable. Elena felt a stirring in her heart. She believed that something had to change, but she wasn't sure where to start. The next morning, Elena visited the village elder, a wise and reserved man named Bram. She found him in his modest home, reading a weathered book.
"Elder Bram," Elena began, "I've been thinking about the lantern. What if we could restore its light? Could it bring back hope to our village?"
Bram looked up from his book, his eyes weary. "The lantern has been dark for too long, Elena. Our village has grown accustomed to the shadows. We've lost faith in such old legends."
"But maybe we've lost faith because we haven't tried to believe," Elena replied. "I want to try. I need your help to understand the lantern's history."
Bram studied her face, seeing the determination in her eyes. "Very well. The lantern's light was once fueled by the collective dreams and hopes of the villagers. But when despair took hold, it was abandoned."
Elena nodded. "Then it's our dreams that we need to rekindle. Can you help me restore it?"
Bram sighed but agreed. "I'll help you, but it won't be easy. You must gather the villagers and inspire them to believe in their dreams again."
Elena began her quest by organizing a village meeting. She stood on a wooden platform in the square, holding the old lantern.
"Fellow villagers," she began, "this lantern once represented our hopes and dreams. It is said that when it was lit, it could brighten the darkest nights. I believe we can restore its light and bring hope back to Shadowvale."
The villagers murmured among themselves. Many were skeptical, including a man named Edgar, who was known for his cynicism.
"Do you really think that old lantern can change anything?" Edgar called out. "We've had too many disappointments."
Elena met his gaze firmly. "I believe that if we work together and believe in our dreams, we can change our circumstances. It's not just about the lantern, it's about rekindling our hope."
Despite the doubts, a few villagers, including a woman named Mira who had lost her husband to illness and a young boy named Leo who dreamed of becoming an artist, expressed their willingness to help. They began to assist Elena in cleaning and repairing the lantern. As Elena and the villagers worked on the lantern, they faced several challenges. The lantern's mechanism was rusted, and they struggled to find the right materials to repair it. Meanwhile, Edgar continued to criticize their efforts. One day, as they worked on the lantern, the village was hit by a severe storm. The rain poured, and the wind howled, threatening to undo their progress. The villagers were discouraged, and some began to question whether their efforts were in vain.
Elena, soaked and exhausted, addressed the group. "We're facing challenges, but this is part of the journey. We must hold on to our dreams even when it's difficult. If we give up now, we'll never know if our efforts could have made a difference."
Mira, despite her own grief, nodded in agreement. "Elena's right. We've come too far to stop now. Let's keep going for the sake of our dreams and for the future of our village."
Slowly, the villagers regained their resolve. They continued working through the storm, and their collective spirit began to shine through. After weeks of effort, the lantern was finally repaired. The villagers gathered around it, their faces illuminated by the faint light of anticipation. Bram explained that the lantern needed a special kind of fuel, the light of their collective hopes and dreams.
Elena addressed the crowd. We've worked hard to restore this lantern, but its light will only shine if we truly believe in our dreams. Each of us must contribute our hope.
One by one, the villagers shared their dreams. Mira spoke of a future where her children could grow up in a thriving village. Leo talked about painting murals that would inspire future generations. Even Edgar, who had been skeptical, shared his hope for a better life for his family. As each person spoke, their shared dreams seemed to infuse the lantern with a warm, golden glow. Elena carefully lit the lantern, and as the flame flickered to life, the light began to grow brighter and brighter. The moment the lantern was fully lit, its light radiated across Shadowvale, piercing through the gloom that had long enveloped the village. The villagers watched in awe as the darkness lifted, revealing a landscape that was vibrant and full of potential. The transformation was not only physical but also emotional. The villagers felt a renewed sense of hope and possibility. They began to believe in their own abilities and in the power of their collective efforts. Elena stood in the center of the square, her heart swelling with pride and joy. She looked at the lantern, which now shone brightly, symbolizing the rekindling of their dreams.
Bram approached her, a smile on his face. You've done it, Elena. You've shown us that our dreams and hopes have the power to transform our lives.
Elena smiled back. It wasn't just me. It was all of us working together and believing in ourselves.
With the lantern lighting up the village, Shadowvale began to thrive. The villagers worked together to cultivate their land, improve their homes, and support each other. The lantern became a symbol of their collective dreams and a reminder of the power of belief and unity. Elena's story was passed down through generations as a testament to the idea that hope and dreams, when combined with effort and perseverance, could overcome even the deepest darkness. Shadowvale became a beacon of inspiration, demonstrating that the most profound changes often begin with the courage to believe in oneself and the strength to work together towards a common goal.